Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. This video is going to be my Gotham series number 6 episode review of Spirit of the Goat. Um, just to start off, this was a very fast-paced episode. I may even go back and watch it again just to check out, see if I missed any like outstanding details. But I'm gonna go through some of the main things. This review may not be very long because, um, uh, man, it just flew. It really, I mean, it was. Don't get me wrong, it was a very good episode, but man, this is probably the uh, most fast-paced episode of all. Um, I love the way they did it though. It starts out 10 years ago, and it shows it's like the birth of a serial killer, the spirit of the goat. And the goat always kills the firstborn child of some illustriously rich family. And there's not a lot known about him. It's like these people are possessed, they got what looked to me kind of like a cross between a cane, WWE, a cane mask, and like a scarecrow mask, something similar to that. Um, Pretty freaky looking, along with the character itself. Was cool. But one thing I love about this show is as we see the development of all these characters back in early Gotham, how Jim Gordon became the Jim Gordon, how Enigma became Riddler, how Cobblepot became the Penguin, how we see all these characters develop throughout the series. We also see brand new villains pop up that each episode is evolved around, and yet all the characters themselves develop at the same time, and that's one of the best part of the series. It's so well pieced together. It really is. And also how incredibly awesome the cinematics are. Is that a word? Cinematics? How cinematic the scenery was. Um, I had to laugh to myself when the episode starts. Um, Harvey Bullock, and his partner from 10 years prior. Um, I don't know if I wrote down the guy's name. Uh, I don't think I did. I apologize. But anyways, his partner from 10 years ago, and you could tell Harvey Bullock is uh, he's fresh, he's new, he's almost similar in the he's got that gung ho attitude, like, hey, all right, let's go get him, and whereas now he's more laid back, like, no, you go ahead. It's a coffee break time for me. It's night and day difference. You can really see how the changes, how he's changed in 10 years time, and it's from his partner, because his partner teaches him. He's like, hey, remember, there's no heroes in Gotham. So he's already teaching him that slacker attitude. Um, Funny, and um, but when they show them pull up to this mansion, and just the way it looks at night with the moon shining on it or whatever, and and then they go inside and the light is shining in from the outside, and there's no electricity except for candles in the distance around the dead maiden, whatever, lady, and it looks. I had a flashback from the 90s. I know I'm really dating myself here. Please bear with me. If you're a fan of the band Aerosmith, the Janie's Got a Gun video, very cinematic, very similar to that video. If you don't remember it, go back and just quick look at the that music video. Janie's Got a Gun from Aerosmith, and you'll compare that to the beginning of this episode. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But just that itself, really, as fast paced as this episode was, just how it looked and felt was just incredible. It really was. It's just so well put together. I don't know how else to say it. Um, but yeah, they showed the demise of the serial killer, the goat, and how uh, Harvey Bullock, killed him on site in this first scene, and in the demise also of his partner, which looks like he's dead, but then he pops up later in the episode. It's just that he made him immobile, took out his legs, and well, his partner himself took out his liver. pretty poor, pretty piss poor shape. Um, but yeah, it shows him taking out the serial killer, and then it quick zips forward to current time, him looking at a dead body, another homicide site of a woman hung up the exact same way, almost, hung up like she's crucified almost, and so he's looking at this, and Harvey's pissed. He's really upset. And the funny part about it is, I think he was more pissed that he was the first guy on the scene and that his partner Jim Gordon wasn't there, and that was humorous because he's like, "What the hell?" Um, like he's like, "Wow, I'm really rubbing off on him," uh, yeah, funny. And so Harvey's upset, because he's like, I took care of this guy 10 years ago, and now he's back, or the reference to a copycat comes up that somebody's mimicking the same thing. And partway through the episode, when they're doing the autopsy, something that was not put in the file that only Harvey Bullock and his partner knew about. Oh, and the guy that did the first autopsy, but he was dead or something, or gone, whatever. Excuse me. A penny was surgically inserted in a slit in the back of the head underneath the hairline. Something really intricate like that. And the significance of that was never brought to light, just that it happened in all the victims. And I don't think they did reveal what the significance was. Like I said, this is one of those that was so fast paced. I have to go back and watch it again, but I'm pretty sure I got everything. But just watching it again for how great everything looked was just wow. So all in all, he goes to look up his old partner, trying to get some, bringing the case to light again, seeing what he can do to catch this guy, and they catch him, they catch the copycat in the end, and it is one of those things where depending on how you watch shows and how close to detail you see stuff, some people might have gotten it right away. I didn't catch it until the very end, until they straight up revealed it. So I'm not the smartest guy on the planet. Uh, it ends up being the therapist of the family of one of the daughters that was dead. And so this therapist was like, how did she say it? Like reverse cleansing Gotham getting rid of all the rich snobs, something to that effect. Really weird, but cool at the same time, because then she tried to hypnotize the daughter's dad, who was very frail in nature. Then all of a sudden, he had this super beast strength and trying to kill Harvey, and then ended up taking them both out at the end. Just wild, the concept of that is just crazy. Um, so that was the main conflict of this episode, as far as specific to this episode. The other bullet point on this episode we see is Enigma, the development of the character Enigma into Riddler. You see Enigma turn up on the first crime site or homicide site, whatever you call it, where like I said, Harvey was having a flashback, you know, talking about how the copycat killer, the spirit of the goat, was back because now there's another murder just like there was 10 years ago, and trying to get information from that crime scene or that case from that serial killer from 10 years ago, and wanted Enigma to go dig it up or something to that effect. Um, and Enigma's trying so hard. He's, how do I say this? He's one of those guys that he's so smart, it's almost annoying, because he's trying so hard to show everyone and at the same time please everyone with his knowledge, or fruitfulness of his brain waves, whatever you want to call it. He's just plentiful with the smarts. um, so trying to get ahead and just be noticed, and because he's so proud of that he can trick people or whatever. Obviously, we see how this is going to go down the road, and it's going to bite others in the ass when he turns on them, because you can see he's disappointed. You can see he's getting upset mildly that people aren't appreciated by how hard he's working or how he's trying to make things better by how he thinks. And we see that later in the episode when Enigma shows up in the records room, and he's talking to. Now I don't know how significant this name is going to pop up later in the series, or if it's going to at all. But her name is Kristen Kringle, I believe. Similar to Christmas or Santa. But she's in charge of the records room, and he's like, wow, I can really help you organize this. And she's like, I organize this all on my own. I don't need your help. Well, he basically just makes the room a complete mess partway through the episode. He's like, look what I did. I did this and this and this. And she's like, just get the hell out of here, basically. She's very upset. And in turn, he's upset because, she didn't get it. And, so you can see it's his character's building. You can see the frustration's growing. We see the tension between Jim Gordon and Barbara pretty much getting to a head. The reason why he was late for work is because he was arguing with her about their relationship. And they weren't, like screaming and throwing shit. They were just, so you can just tell it was very intense. They love each other very much, and they're trying not to have a full-out breakdown of their relationship. They're trying to settle it as maturely as possible. I give them credit for that. Not everybody has that talent. But you can tell the relationship is very strained, and she's like, just let me in, let me in or let me go, like she said in an episode or two ago. I believe it was 2 episodes ago. I believe she said something to that effect. Um, and he's like, "Fine, just I need to get to work. I'll explain whatever I can to you, you know." And then it's dropped. Well, he gets home later in the episode after all this, and finds out that was it the Special Crimes Unit, Montoya, and I can't remember the guy's name, Alan, I think. The ones who have been trying to solve the case of the death of, or the murder of Chester Oswald Cobblepot. Or coffee. I guess we'll have to suffice for now. It's got vitamins in it. The murder of Oswald Cobblepot. There we go. Penguin. They finally get evidence. They interviewed a hobo who said he saw the whole thing. Yeah, let's see how that flies in court. Give that guy a breathalyzer test first, right? So they arrest him in his home. And, and Jim's like, "I didn't do it, and, he keeps saying all the way down there, even as he's getting dragged into his own precinct. And the chief of police, the woman, I can't remember her name, I'm sorry. She's like, "What are you doing to him?" And they're like, "Well, we're arresting him for the murder of Oswald Cobblepot." And Harvey's like, "He didn't kill Oswald Cobblepot. He's trying to help him." And this is where it gets comical. Jim's like, "I didn't kill him." And he's like, "Yeah, he didn't kill him." And Jim's like, "No, I did not kill him." He's like, "You don't get it." They're going back and forth. Boom, in the background opens the door. Who enters the room? Oswald Cobblepot. And he's like, "Hi, I'm Oswald Cobblepot," and, dun, dun, dun. And here's Harvey, and here's Jim, and that's how the episode ends. And it's like, oh my God, it's so funny. It really is. As intense as this episode was, it wasn't violent, it wasn't gory, it was just intense, because, this killer was on the loose and they were trying to catch him. It was the way everything was portrayed in the episode had almost like, a mild hint of Silence of the Lambs, almost, just, like I said, how cinematic it was. And, the ladies were, strung up like this and victimized and whatever. And, and drugged and everything. It just, wow, it was just a great, very fast paced, but one of the best episodes of the series so far, and the tensions rising and the conflicts are, so crazy. So yeah, great episode. That's my thoughts on it. And I want to thank you guys for watching. I know I'm not getting a lot of views on these particular episodes, but I think this is still going to be a growing thing. I think the more it's around, the more people are going to catch on to it and love it, because that's like the biggest thing that's going right now is comic book stuff. And I think this one in particular, even though there aren't any superheroes, I think it's still incredibly well done. Storylines, cinematic, the way it looks, everything just done perfectly. So that's my review for number 6, Spirit of the Goat. What'd you guys think of it? Put some comments in below. Let me know what you thought. And thanks for watching, guys.